All right, so today's practice, like I mentioned before, if you don't want to be seen on the video, which I will post up to YouTube, but privately to only our students, if you don't want to be seen on the video, you may stop your video, okay? You can shut off your video. For our practice today, I have actually been inspired by Kati Chav and a few others because many people have been in touch with me that they have some low back issues and what should they do. So I have organized this class around some low back, taking care of our low back. We'll also be looking at some new activation techniques that I've learned over these past few months from a fascia training. And I'd like to start us off with a breath, which is a cooling breath. This breath is called Shitali, and it cools off the body. As today's going to be a hot one, it's going to be up to 27 degrees today. You can use this at any time during the day. So I'd like to show two ways to do this breath. First, get yourself seated in a comfortable position. I'm sitting up on a couple of pillows, so I'm lifted and my hips are relaxed, my low back is relaxed. You can sit on a chair if you wish, or on pillows or on a block. This breath, we breathe in through our mouths with the tongue in either a U position, if you're able to do it, like this, or the tongue at the back of the bottom teeth, like this. If your tongue is at the back of the bottom teeth, flatten the tongue as much as possible. So you flatten it down, okay? If you can do the U position, what we do is we inhale either through the U, like this, and we exhale through the nose with the mouth closed. If you can't do the U position, it's genetically, it's by genetics if you're able to do it with those muscles or not, so it's no big deal. If you can't do the U, flatten the tongue and inhale. Close the mouth and breathe out through the nose. So we're going to do about 20 of those breaths. It's going to go a little bit faster than normal breath. So here we go. Let's start. Breathe in. Close the mouth. Breathe out. And again. Continue this breath. Don't worry if you're breathing in through the belly or through the chest. Do it either way. You should start to feel your body. What I feel first is my head and my face cooling down. It starts to have a cooling effect. And then it starts to travel down into my throat and into my chest and belly. You keep going, goes a little bit fast. Keep going. So all in all, you'll do about 20 of these breaths, and it will take about 2 minutes. As you do this, be sure your spine is long, you're comfortably seated. And just notice the effect that this has. And it should be pretty good. Do about 5 more. If you haven't counted, it's not a big deal, but just about 5 more breaths. Just notice the effect. One more. And now you finished. Close your eyes and observe just how your body's feeling, how the skin is feeling on the body. How your mind is functioning right now. And recognize that you can use this breath if you're feeling overheated at any time of the day. This breath not only cools down the body, the face and the neck and chest, but it also helps to calm the mind. Whenever you focus on breath, it calms the mind. Okay. From here, whatever position you're in, clasp your hands together and stretch your palms skyward, straightening out both arms. See if you can relax the shoulders down. Lift your chest, open the eyes, take a deep breath in, breathe out and lean to your right, go right over. Breathing in, rise back up, keep the belly tight, breathe out, lean to your left. So for those of you who have any back issues, be careful you don't go so far. Breathe in, lift back up. Breathing out to the right. Breathe in, lifting. Breathing out to the left. One more time each side. Now as you do this, bring the breath only in and out of the nose. Many advantages for breathing in and out of the nose. Very good. Come back to center. Bring the palms together over the head and bring your thumbs into your upper back. Push your head gently against your forearms so the elbows point up and you're lifting and opening the chest. Curve back a little bit if possible. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And then stretch the arms as straight as possible above you and gently bring your hands down in front of the heart center. Okay. Roll over your ankles or come up off of the pillow and onto all fours. So from here, hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We're going to do what's called dialing out of the hands. So the palms are down, fingers spread wide, and you're going to energetically, only energetically, turn your hands out as if you're dialing the left hand and the right hand along a clock, okay? So the fingers don't move, but there is a contraction or an activation in the arms and shoulders. This is activating the front line of the fascia lines in the body. You're going to feel that the shoulders, and I think Evelyn mentioned last week, the shoulders somewhat relax in this position. But there is strong activation in the forearms and in the arms. And Christelle, this might help your elbow, the tendonitis of the elbow. So energetically turning this, hold that position. Take a deep breath in and begin curving your spine. Look skyward. Breathe out and round the spine. Look to the belly button. Breathing in, let's curve. Breathing out, we'll round. And again, breathing in, curving. Go slowly and gently for the back. Breathing out, rounding. One more time, we'll breathe in and curve. And this time as we round, open your knees and sink down into child's pose. Walk your hands out in front of you and bring your forehead down to the earth. Staying in this position for about 3 breaths. Make slow, long breaths. Coming up, looking forward, lift up onto the knees. Bring the knees hip width And stretch your right leg back, tucking the toes under. Let's stretch into the calf and the heel of the right leg. Pressing back, hold for a moment. Then coming back onto all fours, and you'll raise the right leg up. Make that big circle with the foot. Change the direction of the circle. And then bring the knee back down. Reset your hands underneath the shoulders, reset your knees underneath the hips, energetically turning the hands out so you get that contraction into the arms and the shoulders will relax. Take a deep breath in, curl your spine. Breathe out and round. And again, let's breathe in and curl. Breathing out, rounding. One more time, let's breathe in and curl. And as you round, open the knees again, sink back into child's pose. Forehead onto the floor. 3 deep, slow breaths in and out through the nose. Lift your head, look forward. Keep your hands where they are, come back up. Knees hip width, stretch your left leg this time behind you and press into the heel and calf. Holding here. Then raise that left leg and make a nice big circle with the foot. Change the direction of the circle. Then bring the left foot back down, tuck your right toes under and take yourself into downward facing dog. Keep dialing the hands energetically out to the side. Now, when I talk about dialing the hands out, be sure you're not overdoing and pushing too hard. You should feel just energetically that the muscles contract to see if you can turn the arms and the hands. But of course, your hands stay stable and down. Pedal your feet right and left, right and left. From here, we'll take a deep breath in, move into a plank position. Be sure that your shoulders are over your hands. Push back to down dog. Moving back into plank, belly in. So for Agnieszka and Kati, and even Pankaj, if you still have some back issues, you bring your knees down for a supported plank. And then you move back to down dog. And again, moving into a plank position, belly in, everything strong. Drop the knees if you need to. Push back to down dog. One more time into that plank position or supported plank. Move yourself down to the floor. Everything strong. Point your toes. Lengthen your legs out. Press the tops of the toes down. Squeeze the shoulder blades and energetically, again, turning, dialing the hands away. Lift up to a little cobra and we come back down. Very small cobras, please. And again, breathe in, lift to cobra. Breathing out, come back down. 3 more times. Breathing in, so it's 5 total. Breathing out. Please go just until comfortable. Never move into any discomfort. Keep pressing the toes down. Here's your last one. Push up onto the knees. Right hand off the mat, left hand on top, and we press the hips back. Feel the left hand side of the body really stretching out, lengthening. A few deep breaths here. Lifting back up, we'll change sides. Left hand off the mat, right hand on top, hips go back. Coming back onto the mat. Set your hands nicely, dial them out, and lift to downward facing dog. Now we'll begin taking baby steps forward until you reach the front edge of your mat. Once you are there, separate your feet hip width, bend the knees, grab your elbows, and just let yourself fall forward, swaying from side to side. Then we lower the arms down, roll your right and left shoulders. Turn our head from right to left, making a little no movement. And then up and down for a little yes movement. And then again, a little no movement, side to side. Bend your knees nice and low. Be sure that your toes are open toes. Hands to your hips, elbows up. Lift your chin, lift your chest. Rise all the way to a standing position. Release the arms. Now, as you know, I typically like you to find your perfect posture, right? Now, along with the perfect posture, I want you to find that energetic dialing out, but with your feet. So your feet won't move, but there is a little activation, a little contraction and activation with the legs. Your knees won't move very much, but you will feel that the knees and the legs contract. There is a contraction of the muscles. This is working again through the front line of the fascia lines, okay? And we'll go into that in more detail later in the year. But the front fascia line is responsible for posture, lifting the chest, and keeping the knees and the hips in good functioning condition for any sport that you want to do. So that gentle dialing out with the feet, nothing moves, but you feel the contraction. Lift the chest, make the waist long. Relax the shoulders, chin parallel to the floor. The hips still move back in a very gentle curve of the low back. Hands come to your heart center. Let's get ready for a sun salutation. So front edge of the mat, feet dialing out. Take a deep breath in, raise your arms, stretch skyward. Bending at your knees, breathe out, let's fold forward. Hands come to the floor, to your ankles or to your thighs. Come to a halfway lift, breathing in. Set your hands down and step back to your plank position. Everything strong, hands dialing out. Bring your knees down to start and move down to the floor. Slowly pointing your toes, lengthen your legs, press the toes down, lift up to a little cobra. Bring your chest back down. Come up onto your knees first, tucking your toes, rise to downward facing dog. From here, take 3 deep, slow breaths. Hands still dialing out. So no moving of the hands, but you're gonna feel that activation. One more deep breath in and out. Look to your hands, big steps forward. Halfway lift, breathing in. Breathe out, fold forward. Dial out the feet energetically, hands to your hips, knees bent, lifting to standing, hands to your heart center. And let's go again, deep breath in. Breathing out, let's fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step back to the plank position. Lower your knees down. This time, if you would wish, you could do a push-up, down and up. All the way down, point your toes, lengthen out, rise to cobra, and push back to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. In and out. Good. Very nice. Look to your hands. We'll do one more time the same sequence. Stepping forward. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Breathe out, fold forward. Good. Feet are dialing out energetically. Set your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky. Bend your knees. Rise to standing. Beautiful. Hands to your heart center. Find that activation with the feet dialing out. Deep breath in, rise up. Breathing out, fold forward all the way to the floor. Halfway lift, breathe in. Beautiful. And step back to your plank position. Now it's the hands that dial out energetically. Move your knees down. If you wish, do a push-up. 1, 2, or 3 push-ups as you wish. And all the way down, point your toes coming into cobra. And push back to downward facing dog. Doing great. Excellent. Very nice. Okay, everyone, bring your feet together. So you join your feet. Raise your right leg as high as possible. Bend the knee and open the hip. Yeah. Now opening the hip here, see if you can keep both hands on the floor with equal weight, equal compression onto both hands. Yes, open the toes of the right foot. Now stretch the right leg straight and swing the foot between the hands. Spinning your left heel down, rise up. If you need help, set the hand onto the thigh to rise up to warrior 2. Stretch your arms nicely. In this position, you're going to actively dial out with the foot, and you're going to feel the activation of the knee going towards the baby toe. If you dial the foot properly, you're going to feel that the knee naturally goes towards the baby toe, and there is an activation in the outer hip. So you don't actually have to think about contracting it. It happens naturally because you physically use the muscles. Stretch your arms nicely. Now let's reverse, going back. Hold for a moment. I really want you to activate, lifting up through the waist. Engage nicely through the sides of the body. Keep your legs strong. Beautiful. Now everybody move back down with power to a plank position. Back down and into a push-up if you wish. 1, 2, or 3. And then all the way down, point your toes, lengthening out. Rise up to a cobra and push back. Downward facing dog. Pedal your feet if you need to. All right. Bringing your feet together, raise your left leg this time up as high as possible. Bend the knee and open the hip. Get the compression down into both hands. Everything is strong. Open the toes of the left foot. Keep breathing. Now stretch the left leg straight and bring the foot between the hands. Spin your right heel down. If you need to, help yourself up with your left hand onto the thigh or just rise up to warrior 2. Again, dialing, activating the left leg. The foot actively turns, but without turning the toes. So it's an activation of the leg and the knee goes towards the baby toe. That's it. Sink down low. Keep breathing. The breath is in the chest. Everything's strong. And from here we reverse and you hold. Keep the legs active. Keep that knee going out. 3, 2, 1. Move everything back down again to your plank position. Lower the knees if you wish or not, and do a push-up. 1, 2, or 3. All the way down. Point your toes, take a cobra, and push yourself back to down dog. Pedal your feet if you wish. From here, we're going to step forward, separating your feet. Be sure the second toes are pointing straight forward. Bring your knees down low. Now, we did this last week. Elbows between the knees, hands clasped together. Hips lower than the chest. Now you'll squeeze the knees in towards the elbows, okay? Squeeze in, that's it. Your elbows resist a little bit, that's fine, but you don't need to use the muscles of the arms to resist the elbows. Keep breathing, 3, 2, 1, good. Bring your hands down, straighten your legs, come to a halfway lift as much as possible. Knees, of course, stay soft. Now rebend the knees to that chair position, and this time the hands go to the outsides of the knees. Lift your chest, and you're gonna push your knees out, but you'll hold your knees there with the hands. So engage nicely. You're gonna feel the glutes working, you'll feel the knees, the thighs, maybe even the backs of the thighs. Hold it here, lift your chest, relax the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, good. Bend forward, and you can slightly straighten the legs. Knees stay soft. Whew. Now we bend our knees down low. We're gonna rise up to a chair position. Arms come either over the head, or you can come into cactus. Squeeze the shoulder blades. If even arms up or cactus too much, you can just set your hands onto your hips. Sink the hips back. Find compression deep into the floor with your legs, with your feet. And you're gonna feel like you're energetically turning out the toes, but nothing moves, of course. It's just those muscles. Holding 3, 2, 1. Hands to the heart center, folding forward. Halfway lift. Stepping back to plank. If you want, you can do a push-up. All the way down. Cobra. And downward facing dog. When you are ready, right leg in between the hands. If you need to, help yourself up. Otherwise, rise up to warrior 2. And let's move a bit. Go back. And back down into plank position. 1 push-up. All the way down. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Left leg. Moving into warrior 2. Help yourself up if you need to. Reverse. Back down again to a plank position. Let's go. 1 push-up if you want. Looking good, everybody. Stay with it. All the way down. Point your toes, cobra, and downward facing dog. Now, in down dog, practice Shitali. Breathing in over the tongue. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in either with the tongue in the U or over the flat tongue. Breathe out through the nose. 3 more times. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good job. 1 more time. Well done. Look to your hands, step or jump forward. Halfway lift, breathing in. Breathe out, fold forward. Okay, everyone. Hands to the hips, elbows up. Come all the way to standing. Shake your hands out, shake your legs out a little bit. Good job. Well done. Bringing your feet about hip width. Bend your knees. Tilt your hips so that the tailbone moves down, okay? It's gonna flatten out the back a little bit just for this posture. Raise your arms up. I'll feel length through your waist. Bring your right leg over your left. You can wrap the foot around the ankle or leave the foot hanging, or you could also just put the toes on the floor in front of you to hold balance. Right arm comes under the left. Grab the left wrist or put the palms together. Lift your elbows and press your hands away. Setting your gaze, squeeze the legs. Breathe deeply in and out of the nose. Engage nicely the legs. The tummy goes in, the chest lifts. Lower down a bit more and then pop out of the posture. Bring your arms down, shake your legs out, shake your hands out. Same thing, other side. Bend the knees, tilt the hips down so that the low back lengthens a bit. Arms up. Bring your left leg over your right. Your left arm comes under the right. Grab the wrist, the thumb, or the palms together. Lift the elbows, press the hands away. Sink down, squeezing the legs. Holding here 5, 4, 3, 2. Sink down a little bit more and unwind and pop up. Arms come down. Shake out the legs. Shake out the hands. Good job. You all are doing wonderfully. Well done. Stick with it. We're going to bend our right knee and grab the right ankle. Now we have a couple of options here. You can stay here just pulling the heel into the hip and you raise your left arm. If you need help, you could touch something to the side, like a tabletop or a chair or a wall. So this is first level position, and this is great. You could stay here. Second level, push your foot into your hand and begin lifting the chest. Lift the leg behind you as well. Dancer's pose. Third level, begin leaning forward until you are almost parallel to the floor. Hold everything, whatever you chose. 3, 2, 1. Rise back up and release everything. Shake out. Shake out the hands, shake out the legs. Good job. Left leg. Grab the ankle. Heel goes into the glute. Raise your right leg. Again, you can stay here. This is already a very nice position. Already working a lot of the balancing muscles. Or if you want to work farther, you push the foot into the hand and you lift the chest, lifting the leg behind you. Or you go farther and you lean forward and hold. 3, 2, 1. Come on back up. Releasing the position, shake out. Okay, good job. Hands to your hips. Bend your right knee, bring it out to the side. You're either at the ankle, very close to the floor, knee with the heel higher than the kneecap, or inner thigh. Lift the chest, get everything long, and raise the arms in a V position. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Lift the eyes if possible. One more deep breath in. And come on down. Lower the leg gently and gracefully. Change legs. Ankle, knee, or inner thigh. Raise the arms in a V. Lift the chest. Breathing in and out of the nose. Feel yourself getting longer and stronger. Lower the arms down and bring the foot back down. Nicely done. Separate your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Bend the knees and make little circles with the hips. Adding on Shitali breath. So here we go. Breathe in over the tongue. Breathe out through the nose. And again, over the tongue. Out through the nose. Change directions of the hips. Breathe in over the tongue. Out through the nose. In. Out. And just once more. Nicely done. Step back to the front edge of your mat. Hands at the heart center. Take a deep breath in, raise the arms up, stretching skyward. Breathe out as you fold forward. Halfway lift, breathing in, and step back to a plank position. So the high plank position. Pull the belly flat. Engage into the arms by dialing the hands out. Lift your head so there's no forward head position. And stay here and breathe. 5. If you need to lower your knees, Kati, Agnieszka, maybe even Pankaj if you still have some low back issues, lower the knees. Christelle, for you as well, lower the knees if you're feeling the elbows. Otherwise, stay here for another 2 breaths. Last one, belly in and up. Good job. Lower the knees down, everyone. And lower yourselves gently to the floor. Hands underneath the forehead. Let your legs relax. Let your head and chest relax. At any point during the practice, if you feel overheated, do just a couple of breaths of Shitali. It really helps to cool the body down. From here, lift the head, keeping the hands down underneath the head, elbows out to the sides. Separate your feet hip width, engage through the legs, and raise both legs. If, for those of you who have any low back issues, it's too much, raise your right leg first for 3 breaths, and then your left leg for 3 breaths. So we're staying here, 6 breaths, everyone. Lift the head if possible, press lightly down into the elbows. For those of you who feel strong in the back today, you could stretch your arms out in front of you as well. Holding here for another 4 breaths. If you're doing one leg, do one more breath and switch legs. 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Everyone comes down. Bring the legs down and move your hips from side to side. Relaxing and letting go. Okay. Bring your arms around and clasp your hands together. For my favorite, it's snake position. Stretch the arms as straight as possible. Christelle, be sure not to hyperextend the elbow. Lift your head, draw your shoulder blades in, and raise the legs if possible. Deep breaths. If it's too much to raise both legs, just keep them down. From here, if you feel you want to go farther, bend the knees, clasp the ankles or the feet, and rise to bow position. Choose what's best for you today. Stay for another 3 breaths. Everyone come down. Hands under the shoulders. Lift up onto the knees. Now I don't do this very often right after back bends, but this time to release the back, walk your knees forward. Knees as wide as the mat, toes touching. Sink down onto the heels and take a lovely restful child's pose. Here in this child's pose, see if you can breathe into the back and get the low back expanding and contracting as you breathe. This will really help to release your low back a little bit. Deep, slow breathing. Expanding and contracting. Nicely done. Set the hands to either side of the head and help yourself to roll up one vertebra at a time, pushing down into the floor, rolling up. Bring your knees to one side, feet out to the side, and come to a seated position, please. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Grab a hold either of the toes, around your toes, or you could grab the ankles. I like clasping my hands together and clasping them around the toes to press the feet together. From here, we're just going to gently rock from side to side. Now this is going to move you forward a little bit, and that's fine. The feet might start scooting forward, but as an energetic release of the back, this can be super nice because we're actually creating a vibration down the right-hand side of the spine and down the left-hand side of the spine as you roll on the hips. Vinciane, be sure that this is not bothering the knees. If it's bothering the knees, you bring your feet out a little bit. Same thing, Evelyn. If it's bothering the knees, bring your feet out and you'll just go side to side. It's like a rocking boat, okay? Now, everyone bring the feet in as close as possible without any pain in the knees. If it's too much, push your feet away. That's fine. Clasp around the toes, press down onto the thighs with the elbows, and lean as far forward as possible. It might be just a little millimeter. That's okay. Okay, Lisa, same with you. If it's bothering your knees, you want to push your feet away from you. Press down, leaning forward, and take deep breaths. Everyone should be feeling this in the adductor muscles, the inner thighs, and perhaps a little bit on the outer thighs, the abductor muscles. You should not be feeling it in your knees. If you feel it in your knees, bring your feet away, okay? If you're feeling it in your back, you might be leaning forward too far. We just want to feel the inner thighs a bit. Deep breaths. And lifting back up. Cross your right leg in front of your left. If you need to, use a block to lift yourself up, okay? Or you could roll up the back of your mat a little bit to lift yourself up. If it's fine, flat on the floor, you can stay here, lift the chest, and we know this is an oblique work. Twist to your right. So towards the right leg, the right foot is in front of the left. Twist and hold. Keep the arms up. Don't use the hands to twist farther. And then we're going to straighten our right arm, left hand in front. It's like we're shooting an arrow. And see if you can go a little bit farther. Twisting a little bit farther. This is isometric work of the oblique muscles. These muscles need to be strong to hold the low back. Come back to center. Lift your knees up. Wrap your arms around your legs. You could keep your feet on the floor and lower the head down to round the spine. Or you could lift your feet and lower your head down and balance on the sacrum. If your low back is giving you trouble, maybe you want to keep your feet on the floor. Deep breaths. Lift your head and chin. Uncross the legs, and we'll bring the left leg in front of the right. Left one in front of the right this time. Arms up, and we twist to our left. Hold the position. Keep the arms up. Keep lifting through the spine. Keep the back long and curved. If you're starting to feel the low back and it's uncomfortable, unwind a little bit. Stretch the left arm behind you, right hand in front of the chest like you're shooting an arrow. Go deeper, holding. 3, 2, 1. Coming back, unwinding. This time, lift your knees, set your feet flat, uncrossing the ankles, and roll down onto your back, squeezing the knees to the chest. Rock from side to side. Set your feet now flat onto the floor, near your hips. Arms wide to the sides. We're going to do a small mobilization of the low back. As you breathe in, curl the spine, making space between your low back and the floor. And as you breathe out, press the low back into the floor. So you breathe in, curl, find space, and breathe out, push into the floor with the low back. So it's your hips rocking back as you breathe in, and then rock them forward as you breathe out. This should be easy, gentle movement. This is a wonderful movement to help rehabilitate the back, especially if you've had pain in the low back over these past few weeks, which, by the way, I have a lot of students who in the past few weeks have had some low back issues. Breathing out, press the low back down. Breathing in, curling. Breathing out, press the low back down. One more time, breathing in, curl. This time, press the low back down, hold, press into your feet, and raise the hips up for your half bridge pose. Elbows can move down into the floor by your sides, fingers spread wide. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lengthen your neck and head to the back of your mat, and hold here. You should feel your back getting longer as you hold. Feel that your neck is long as well. Avoid any tension in the neck. Press your elbows nicely down into the floor so that the shoulders, the upper shoulders and trapezius can release. And it's more the lower rhomboids that are activated. For those of you who would like to go farther, walk your feet in towards each other and raise your right leg. For those of you who have low back issues, I would recommend not raising a leg right now. You'll do it later when your back feels better. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rebend the knee, place the foot back down. And here we go with the left leg. Hold it up here. Again, if you have any low back issues, maybe you already want to come down out of the half bridge pose to rest. If you're holding the leg up, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg back down. Raise your arms over your head, and very slowly, one vertebra at a time, lower the back. See if you can do this as slowly as possible. And once you're all the way down, let's again set the soles of the feet together, knees wide, and the hands come onto the belly. Deep breaths. Good. So for any of you who have low back issues, perhaps you know doing crunches is not a good idea until your back is better. Okay? Because when you do crunches, that means lifting up the head and shoulders. That tends to put more pressure on the low back. and rounding it out, and that can make the low back more painful if you have pain. So we won't do any crunches today. And we're just going to release now with some twists. So lift your knees up gently and slowly. Separate your feet as wide as the mat. Arms over the head again. Let your knees go to your right. Stretch your left arm far behind you, lengthening out. Take some deep, slow breaths. Raise your left knee first, right knee follows. Now let your knees fall to the left and stretch your right arm far behind you. Deep breathing once again. Right knee lifts, left knee follows. Lift your knees up. Now, we're going to do a special hip stretch. Typically, I like to do the cross. It's like a 4. You make a 4 with your legs, or it's also called reclining pigeon. But instead, I want you to set the left foot down on the floor. This helps to stabilize the low back onto the floor. And you're just going to take your leg, right hand on the right knee, left hand on the foot or on the ankle, and you're going to pull it towards you as if you're doing pigeon, the reclining pigeon. But here the back is stabilized, so it's much better for the low back if you have any low back issues. The right knee goes towards the shoulder, the right foot goes towards the left shoulder. Holding here, foot is flexed. 3, 2, 1. Keep this foot, grab the inner arch of the foot, and let the knee come out to the side like you're doing a half baby pose. So the right knee goes to the outside of the shoulder, and you're pulling the knee down to the floor. The right foot is flexed. Releasing this, bring the right foot down, raise your left leg. So it's like a reclining pigeon here. You grab the knee and the foot and you're pulling them towards the chest. Holding, the foot is flexed. Then the left knee goes to the outside of the chest. The foot is up towards the sky. You grab the sole of the foot and you pull it down to the outside of the chest. Relaxing here. See if you can get that stretching through the hip. You'll feel it perhaps in the inner thigh, a little bit in the outer thigh, and in the hip. And then releasing, squeeze both knees tightly to the chest. Lift your head, nose between the knees. Then gently lower the head to the earth. Stretch your legs one at a time onto the mat. Turn your palms to the sky. Squeeze the shoulder blades so it lifts the chest a bit. And then allow yourself to melt down into your mat. Close your eyes if you like. Taking some deep, slow breaths. Allow your feet and your ankles to relax and to let go. Allow the knees and the hips to relax and to let go. If you're feeling any tension in the low back, breathe into that region and let go. Relax the tummy, the lower abdomen, the waist, and the hips. Relax the chest and the upper back. The arms, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, and the shoulders. See if you can relax and let go of the neck and the throat. The jaw softens. All the muscles in the face. And at your next breath out, just allow your body to relax a little bit more. The whole body just relaxes a little bit more deeply. For some spiritual circles, low back issues are related to sharing. If you felt your low back recently, maybe you could ask yourself how you could share your feelings. Or maybe if you felt that you haven't been able to participate in sharing from other people. And how can you create more sharing in your life, more openness, more give and take? Giving is just as important as receiving. And sometimes receiving is more difficult, but it is just as important as giving. Begin now deepening your breath. Allow your belly to grow and expand. And breathing out, just let go of all thoughts that may have passed while you were relaxing. Begin moving your fingers and your toes. Move your hands and your feet. Raise your arms over your head and stretch from fingers to toes. And then bring your knees to your chest and squeeze them against the chest, rocking a bit from side to side. Stretching your right arm to your right ear, roll to your right hand side, and pressing down into the floor with both hands, lift from the side. Good. Coming to a seated position. When you're ready, let's rub our hands together. Bring your hands over your face, gently tapping around the eyes, shaking out in front of you. And of course, you can also do this just energetically, rubbing the hands together and bringing the hands over the face without touching. You can do it this way as well if you prefer. And shaking out. Hands to your heart center. It's been a pleasure to practice again with you all today. Namaste. Wishing you all an absolutely lovely day, a very nice week. Take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care.
Bye, Anne. Thank you.
Anne.
Bye, Son. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well done, everybody.
Thank you very much. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.